All praise be to Allah, Lord of the universe, the Lord of the worlds, our creator, our sustainer, Allahu Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, and unlimited salams and salutations to the greatest messenger, the master of the both worlds, the master of mankind and jinnkind, the leader of all messengers and prophets, alayhimus salam, our beloved Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Respected elders and my dear brothers and sisters who will be listening through Mixla and YouTube, we are still in the holy month of Ramadan, and Ramadan is actually leaving us. Halfway through, today we are fasting. What is it? What fasting is it today? Is it the 16th today, isn't it? 16th. So we've actually come to the other side of the holy month of Ramadan. So it's leaving us. But we need to question ourselves that have we developed any good qualities? And did we manage to get rid of some of the bad habits? Because Ramadan is also aims to give us the good things, good habits, and also it aims to give it also trains us to get rid of the bad habits. One of the bad habits is, or maybe you can say, a negative emotion. Not all the time, but if the emotion has been used excessively, can be very negative and destructive, and that is anger. And anger can have a very negative effect in our life. And of course, anger in Arabic is called ghadab. In Arabic is called ghadab. And in English, anger. Bangla আমরা কই রাগগুসা। রাগগুসা কিন্তু একটা ইমোশন আমাদের মধ্যে আছে যেটা কোনো কোনো সময় দরকার প্রয়োজন আর কোনো সময় কিন্তু এটা খুব বিপজ্জনক হয়ে যায়। So let's just a little bit talk about anger today. First of all, anger can cause some really bad things, some really things that you can regret a lot, maybe even forever. So anger is a cause of we can say abuse. Like when people swear, most of the time they're angry. It's an expression of anger. So that's the reason why people swear. মানুষে রাগ গুসা করে গালাগালি করেন, মানে গাইল যায় এটা অন্তত রাখতে গেয়ে নেই. So anger is a reason for swearing and abusing. And then you find also anger is a reason of violence. When people fight, attack each other, when physically attack, also anger is a cause, because when you are really angry, that's when you go and attack someone. That's when you fight somebody. That's when you do the violence, because you're angry. Also, people can kill each other, murder. Anger is a reason or cause of murder. Sometimes people, in the course of intense anger, they kill people, they kill someone. রাগর মাঝে তো মানুষ একেবারে মারি ফেলাইতে, হত্যা করিলেন, কিন্তু রাগটা কি হয় না? অনেক সময় মানুষ চায় না মারতো, কিন্তু অত বেশি রাগ উঠে যে এই রাগের সময় বুঝে না কি তা করছে. But the person doesn't understand what he or she did during the anger. So murder is another one, which is one of the greatest or major sins in Islam. And then you find also, cutting of the family ties. You are not speaking to your family members for a long time because you're angry. You don't speak to some of your close relatives. قطيعة صلة الرحم. You disconnect with your own people, disconnect with Muslims, disconnect with neighbors. A lot of time because you're angry. And then also you find people divorce their wives in the time of anger. Many of them, in fact, majority divorces take place during the time of anger. রাগের সময় মানুষে কিন্তু বউরও তালাক দিলেন, এটা কিন্তু রাগতে কি অনেক সময় যে তোর রাগ উঠে যার কিছু বুঝেন না. So anger can cause a lot of problems in our life, and some of these things will happen that there's no solution for them. And so therefore we have to be very careful, and we have to know how to control this emotion. It's not bad, it's not haram, because it's part of the human being. Allah created us with this emotion as well. So we will get angry at times. But we'll see when did our Prophet Muhammad get angry. We'll see inshallah later on. But anger can be caused by, so we've spoken and discussed, we said the anger causes a lot of destructive things in our life, results or effects or consequences. But sometimes we need to look at why we get angry. What's the cause of anger? So the causes of anger, if you look at, you'll find sometimes it could be pain. If people are in pain, they can get angry. Sometimes you don't know why you're getting angry, but actually you're getting angry because you've got pain in your body. And that can be a cause of anger. Then also you find sometimes when people are really tired, extremely tired, people can tend to get angry more. So when you're back home, for example, after a long hours of work, and if anybody does anything, then you tend to be agitated, you tend to be quite sensitive, and you get angry. So extreme tiredness can cause the anger. Then you find, for example, if the people are ill for a long time, long-term illness can lead to anger, the anger problem. If someone's ill, for example, for years, then people or that person can become or can develop that emotion of anger more than anyone else. Long-term illness. الجوع مثلا. There's another one which is hunger. So some people are very angry when they're hungry. They say when I'm hungry, don't even speak to me. So if people are hungry, and that's the reason why sometimes you find in Ramadan people tend to get angry more. In some countries, I remember people fight. People say, in Bengali, people say, the Ramadan of fasting catched him, or fasting grabbed him, because the person is angry. The fasting got onto him, in other words, you can say. So people tend to get angry when they're hungry. That's probably another one for some people. Now, also change of hormones in some people, especially in our sisters. Change of hormones, change of physical, bodily situation can also cause anger. Some people also, certain age, for example, for women, for men, certain age can also cause anger. For example, menopause, certain ages when people tend to get more angry. So age can be a factor. And then you find also anxiety and depression and mental health, which is another major reason for anger. Some people cannot control the anger because they suffer from some sort of probably mental health condition. For example, anxiety, depression, and you can name, there are many, many different types of them. So if we can identify one of them, or if anyone is diagnosed with one of them, then the person should and must seek help. Whatever help is there, whether it's herbal or psychological, or maybe even if it's spiritual, whatever help is available, we must seek help without being shy, without feeling any embarrassment, because it's needed, because you can cause damage. You can really cause problems in society. So it's really, really needed to sort this matter and solve this problem. So another one could be argument. Sometimes you start a discussion, and then you see that soon the discussion becomes an argument. Jidal. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He doesn't like jidal. Even Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I will guarantee a house in Jannah if someone gives up on the argument, even though he's right. Even if you know you're right, you have the truth, and you give up the argument, Allah will give you Jannah. Inshallah, Allah will give you a house in Jannah. In heaven. So this is the reward of giving up on argument. But it's a problem because many of us, we can't give up on arguments, because there is ego, there is kibr, there's arrogance involved. Because if you don't win the argument, that means you feel like you're low. I mean, you've lowered yourself. So it's a sacrifice, because when you can't give up on argument, that means you are a strong person. You are the stronger one. Not the other person who's continuing to argue and dispute. The strong. No. The person can stop and give up and maybe find a way out. This is the stronger person. So argument can be another reason. Like sometimes can be jokes. For example, jokes. You joke with somebody and the other person is not ready to take that joke, maybe offensive jokes. And sometimes you start joking and stuff, but the other person is not accepting your jokes. Then that can lead to, again, also anger. And we have seen this, like sometimes people joke around and then you see suddenly they start fighting. After the jokes, or maybe like, some humors, like suddenly they started to fight. Also, addiction, another reason, like intoxication, alcohol, drugs, smoking. If people are addicted to something and if they don't get it, they become angry. Addiction, gambling, people tend to get angry. খেয়ার যদি নেশা থাকে তে নেশা থেকে যখন খুব বেশি রাগ উঠে মানুষের, মানে গাঞ্জা খাওয়া, আপনার বিড়ি খাওয়া তো কিছু নেশা আছে, আবার দেখা যায় জর্দা পান না খাইলেও কিন্তু রাগ উঠে যায়. Yeah, this is another reason we have to accept. This is, when you some of our people, they don't have qat, they don't have pan and zarda. Like sometimes because they're so much into it, like they say, my brain isn't working properly, so they start getting angry. So these are again some of the reasons for why people can get angry. But Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he spoke about anger and he gave us some guidelines, instructions. And Islam is a religion of comprehension. It has everything in it. Subhanallah, our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he gives, and Islam gives prescription for every difficulties and every problems that we may encounter and face in this world. So Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in a hadith recorded by Imam al-Bukhari and Muslim rahimahumullah, rawa Shaykhan and Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, he said that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Laysa ash-shadidu bis-sur'ah." The stronger man isn't the one who is strong in wrestling. Listen to this, it's so very, very important hadith. The strong man or strong person isn't the one who is strong in fighting, in wrestling, physical strength. Because someone can be very strong physically, but very weak in mind. Very weak person inside. So he's saying it's not the person who is strong physically and in wrestling. إنما الشديد الذي يملك نفسه عند الغضب. But the strong person, the person who is strong is the one who can control his anger or her anger during time when he or she can actually apply the anger, but can control it. মানুষ শক্তিশালী নয়, রাসূল করিম সাল্লাল্লাহু আলাইহি ওয়াসাল্লাম কইন যে মানুষে তান শারীরিকভাবে তান শক্তি মাইর করার লাগে শক্তি আছে, তান খুব বড় দেখতে লাগে, এই মানুষ শক্তিশালী নয়. কইছেন যে রাগরে গুসারে কন্ট্রোল করতে পারেন, নিয়ন্ত্রণের ভিতরে রাখতে পারেন, তাই না লাগে কইরা রাসূল করিম সাল্লাল্লাহু আলাইহি ওয়াসাল্লাম সবথেকে বেশি স্ট্রং মানুষ, তাই না লাগে মজবুত এবং খুব শক্তিশালী মানুষ আমাদের রাসূল করিম সাল্লাল্লাহু আলাইহি ওয়াসাল্লাম. So not the person who is strong in wrestling, but the person who can control the anger. That's the stronger person, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying. And then Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in a hadith recorded by Imam al-Bukhari rahimahullah and Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, anna rajulan qala lin-nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a man asked Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, awsini, give me some nasiha, advice, give me some counseling, O Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, la taghdab, he said, don't be angry. Because he knows the prescription is very important, because he knows that the consequence and the effect of anger is destructive. So he said, la taghdab, don't be angry. Faraddada miraran, he kept on saying it again and again. He repeated it, don't get angry, don't get angry, don't get angry, রাগ করিও না. So Rasul Karim sallallahu alaihi wasallam জিজ্ঞাসা বলে আমার কিছু নসিহত দাও. So he repeatedly said, Prophet sallallahu then said, qala la taghdab, and then at the end he again said that don't be angry. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam also said in a hadith recorded by Imam al-Bukhari rahimahullah, Ibn Umar radiyallahu anhu, he said, ma min jar'atin a'zam 'inda Allah ajra. There is not a swallowing more rewarding than the anger of a person that he swallows it, meaning he controls it, he doesn't let it go. Ma min rajulin ma min jar'atin a'zam 'inda Allah ajra min jar'at ghaydin كظمها عند عبد ابتغاء وجه الله. That a man, he does it and he controls his anger, or even a woman controls her anger. Why? ابتغاء وجه الله, for the sake of Allah. You may be right sometime, really, you may be in truth, it doesn't have to be that you're wrong, but you do it because you understand that you are doing for Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. So you give up on argument, and you do anything and everything to avoid the anger. Don't think just because you're angry. And in some society, people think, if you can get angry, you're the man. রাগ করলেও মনে করেন খুব বেশি বড় একজন কিছু কিছু মানুষ করলে আছে খালি গুসা রাগ. But this is not the right thing, correct thing. This is a weakness in reality. In fact, it's a weakness. It's a weakness. So we have to find a way to help ourselves. So Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did get angry. There's a hadith which says the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I'm just going to read in English. I won't say the Arabic text. So Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he never struck anybody. He never hit anyone. See, subhanallah, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam never struck anybody. And then he said, not even a woman and not even a khadim, someone who works under him, like his someone worker or someone employed under him, except in the path of Allah, while he's of course in jihad fi sabilillah. And then he said, وَمَا نِيلَ مِنْهُ شَيْءٍ, and he never avenged, he never punished anybody, he never avenged from anyone for himself, except a law of Allah was violated. He never got angry or avenged or anything or punished anybody if it's just because for himself. But if anything he did, it was because the violation of the law of Allah tabarak wa ta'ala. So Prophet ﷺ did get angry when it was needed, in the right time, in correct context, and the correct amount. Not excessive, not too much. Sometimes we hit people just out of anger. বাচ্চা কাচ্চাদের মারিয়া রাখি না কোনো সময় আমরা রাগ গুসা করিয়া অনেক তো মারেন নি পৃথিবীর মাঝে তো অনেক সময় রাগ করে এটা করেন. So if we don't know how to control it, then we will actually oppress other people. We'll do dhulm on other people. There are of course many ways of controlling our anger. We can take different types of help. Psychological help is there, anger management, and that's good. If possible, do take it. There is no problem. And it's needed, really. Like any other treatment. If, for example, whatever helps you, you should take the help. Whatever helps you can get. Islamically, of course, there are certain things to change the position. Prophet ﷺ said, if you are standing, sit down. If you are sitting, lie down. Sometimes we can change the room as well. Sometimes we can go out just for fresh air. It helps really. And then Prophet ﷺ also said, say A'udhu Billah min Shaytanir Rajim. Read A'udhu Billah. Seek help from Shaitan, because Shaitan was created from fire, and anger is from fire. And also Prophet ﷺ said, make wudu, because wudu will extinguish that fire. So make wudu if needed. Pray salah, just try to do something that will help you. But Prophet ﷺ said to make wudu, to read A'udhu Billah min Shaytanir Rajim. Also, durood can help. I've seen in many places, durood sharif helps. So if you say, Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Mawlana Muhammad wa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, can help to reduce the angry. আমরা তো শুনি বাংলাদেশে ওয়াজ মায়ের দরবার লাগে ওখানে দুরূদ শরীফ পড়া. Durood sharif can help, when there is a problem. And I saw in Egypt, fights about to break down, a fight, proper fight, physical. Somebody comes and says, Salli ala Nabi, read salam to Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and the fight stops. And this is a common behavior in Egypt. Like they always say, Salli ala Nabi, in everything. Even before they start driving the car, before the driver of the coach and bus, they start driving, they say, Salli ala Nabi. To all passengers, they say it. So it's a good thing, really good habit, and we see it stops many things. So inshallah, there are many ways we can help ourselves. But the matter is serious. If any one of us has it, we should try our best to help ourselves and also help our family members if they have. Because again, it's not like strength, rather it's a weakness if it's excessive. But of course, if it's used correctly, and sometimes it's needed. Sometimes to get things done, you also need to get angry. It's needed, but in correct time and in the correct amount. Wa jazakumullah khairan.